What's up, guys? Historic day today in Western Pennsylvania. The blue cats are getting stalked starting today. I was fortunate enough to get invited today to help out during the stalking process and film. As a lot of you know, we've been hoping that Pennsylvania would come forward and draft up a blue cat stalking plan and get the blue cats back in our waters. Today's the day that all starts. At the end of the video, I'll interview our biologist, Mike Depew, and get some details on their plan, as he is the one that drafted the stalking plan for Pennsylvania. Stick around for the stalking action, guys. This is going to be awesome. Hey, Ken, this is pretty badass.
This is one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
They're about to fill our live wells up, and we're going to disperse these fish down the Ohio River here.
You can only get little split shot these guys.
Pete?
Historic reintroduction of Blue Catfish to Pennsylvania.
You got a receipt for those?
Yeah. I think you got 150 of them. So, put a couple buckets in there, and then again, you know the spot. Yeah, we'll spread them out. That's why you guys... I'll probably go way down river on this load. Yeah. That's why you guys are here.
Say hi.
Hello.
What do you think, Jeff?
The first net of blue catfish going in the city pool. This is exciting.
Gonna get a couple of those up in the net to show everybody. All right.
Hey, we'll see you guys in a few years. Two nets here, Mike.
Sounds good.
Let's go to the next spot.
All right.
Okay.
Drop them in right over here so you guys get a good view. There you go.
Oh, look at him go.
That's pretty cool.
I'll do another net full or two. Nice big sweet bubble.
Heck yeah.
That's good?
That's good.
Good?
Look at him. That's so
Heck it is, little fella. What do you think? We've got tons in here. I might as well do another one.
Yeah, do another one, and then we'll go back behind the back channel, get rid of the rest of them, and then we'll fly up and get another load.
Get them.
Get another load?
Yeah, I'm gonna do another one. I'll drop them off this side of the boat. All right.
Do you fish for
Catfish.
catfish?
Yeah. Mainly flatheads, but you know, once these guys get a little bigger. We travel a lot to chase after these fish to other parts of the water that have them. So that's why it's so cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you probably fish other,
And as you know, gas isn't getting cheap.
Yeah, so it's better if you just do it here, huh?
In fact, me and Ken have
Here, I'll get out of the way. You can get-
the other boat that's with us stalking today. We have a trip planned to go to Virginia here in a couple weeks to chase after these guys. Look at that. Awesome.
Finally come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Joe gets the honorary to release the blue cats here.
Sweeping them in. Down the river, guys. Nope, this way. This way.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Good fish.
Yep, let's see. I didn't see that big one.
Good fish.
That was good.
Joe, what do you think of this?
This is awesome. This is pretty cool. Ready? Yep. It's all you.
There you go, Joe. Send them.
They're set.
Hopefully one of you guys will be in that boat pretty soon. And here goes the last of the first stocking of blue cat. The city pool, the Three Rivers of Pittsburgh. Get in there.
Stubborn.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Depew. I'm a fisheries biologist with the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission out here in the southwestern part of the state. I'm also the lead author on the state's Blue Catfish Reintroduction Plan for the Three River system.
All right, Mike. Well, hey, thank you very much for all that you do. And again, like he said, Mike played a big role in getting the ball rolling and the feet on the ground with this Blue Catfish Reintroduction Plan into Pennsylvania waters over here on the western side of the state. I'll let him generalize the plan, and then we'll ask him a few questions afterwards.
So for a little bit of background first, for those of you who don't know it, blue catfish are native to the Three River system out here in western Pennsylvania. That would include the Ohio River, the Monongahela River, and the lower parts of the Allegheny River. So they were extirpated from the state over 120, 125 years ago, around 1900. This was due to pollution, habitat alteration were the main causes of this elimination of blue catfish. And as water quality has improved over the years, we've seen a number of fish species come back to the Three River system. Now we have over 100 species, but one of the things that never really made its way back up here was blue catfish. Blue catfish, as you know, if you're watching this channel, they're a very popular sport fish species. They grow to large sizes. They have a propensity to bite during the winter time. And so what we were looking at with the Fish and Boat Commission, since we knew that they're native species out here, we decided to initiate a restoration plan to get these catfish back into the Three River system out here in western Pennsylvania. And we fortunately had kind of a model to go off of. West Virginia has been reintroducing blue catfish to their portion of the Ohio River for about the last 15 years or so now, and it's been quite successful, particularly in some of the lower pools. Joe's probably a little more familiar with those. And anglers have caught fish that have pushed over 60 plus pounds as of now, right?
I believe the state record this year got broke. I think it got broke twice, but the one right now by a friend of mine, Stephen Price, I believe it was right around 67 pounds.
That's a sizable fish. That's a good size. The way that we looking at this plan is we were able to get a batch of blue catfish eggs. We've been raising these fish at the Tionesta State Fish Hatchery. We grew them out this year to fingerlings, roughly 3 inches to 4 inches in size. And then we stocked at a rate of approximately 1,000 fish per river mile up and down the 4 pools in the Ohio River. Turns out we are going to have a surplus of fish this year. So the roughly 40,000 fish that we were planning on stocking, It should turn out to be around 80,000, so double the initial stocking.
Awesome.
Beginning next year in 2023, because we know we have much higher survival of yearling catfish than fingerling catfish, we are going to take a batch of around 15,000 blue catfish fingerlings that we have now and raise them out to yearling size, which is roughly 8 to 10 inches in length. And with the fingerlings, we may expect, somewhere in the range of 5% survival if we're very lucky.
Yeah. So probably less than 5%.
Probably less. It's one of the reasons we try and stock a very large number of fish. With the yearlings, it could be up to 15, 20, 25%. We're not 100% certain what the exact rate of survival is going to be, but we know that it's definitely better. And we've just done a study looking at channel catfish in our lakes, and yearlings made much of a better contribution to the fishery than fingerlings do.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the reasons we're going to switch. Now we're going to be stocking less yearlings. There's less space to raise fish to a larger size. It costs more, but the cost benefit and the fact that you can stock less fish and get a bigger bang for your buck.
Seems like the way to go.
It's definitely the way to go.
One question about your plan. How many years do you guys plan on stocking the rivers over here in Western Pennsylvania?
So we're breaking this up basically into 3 parts. The initial 5-year period will be stockings concentrated on the 4 pools of the Ohio River that are in Pennsylvania, all the way from the point in Pittsburgh down to the state line with West Virginia and Ohio. That'll be done from 2022 up through 2027, I think. I think that's 5 years, if my math's correct. Following that, we plan on initiating stocking on 1 or 2 pools of the Allegheny and the Monongahela rivers each year for 5 years. So we'll concentrate fish into those selected pools for 5 years. After that, we're going to do additional pools on both the Monongahela and Allegheny.
Are you going to start downriver on the Allegheny in Mon, or are you going to start up and work your way down?
We're going to start up and work our way down.
So nice and spread out.
Yes. So particularly the farther upstream we get them, more chance they may spread around, and then you'll have fish from the Ohio that may spread up in between some pools in between.
So for the Allegheny River, correct me if I'm wrong, but the northern stretch that you guys will be stocking will be the dam that's just above the Kiski River, like right there at the Kiski River and down through Pittsburgh.
That's correct. Yes, we'll be stocking the up to pretty much the Lock 5 there at the mouth of the Kiski River. The historic distribution on the Allegheny is pretty spotty, but what it sounds like is that the Kiski River and the Allegheny had fairly similar species assemblages back in the 1800s, and we would expect that that may have been their farthest upstream extent.
Okay. In the Mon, just from the state line.
We're actually going to be stocking the pool below the state line downstream.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. So we're looking at about 15 years of stocking. This is a big program.
Yes, big commitment.
This isn't just a one and done thing. They're fully committed 100% to reintroducing these fish back to where they belong.
Yep.
That's awesome. Another question that keeps getting brought up, and it's kind of a trivial question, but folks want to know, since we're going to have blue catfish now, several years from now, we're going to be starting to catch them. How does when can one be recognized for a state record? Do you even know the answer? Does anyone know the answer to that?
I don't know if I have the answer for that right now. Been in some consideration talks of potential catch and release regulations. As of right now, it's a little early to presume.
I mean, this is something completely new, so I'm sure you guys got to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
So, for the folks that are listening to this at home, I mean, realistically, we're not going to be catching these fish for several years now. So by then, I'm sure once they start popping up every now and again, and Mike and his team start getting out there and surveying the fish and seeing how they're doing and growing, I'm sure that you guys will generate, you know, the game plan as far as like listing them as a state record recognizable species in our state.
Yes, initially, you know, we're going to get these fish in the river. We're going to give them a couple years, basically to grow to, you know, sizes where they're going to be detectable by our gear when we go out and sample. Our first sampling event for these will be on the Ohio, at least will be 3 years from now, so 2025. We'll be back in here, and we're going to basically repeat the surveys that we've done this year. We did an initial survey using 4 different types of gear, caught 0 blue catfish. So we're starting at a base of 0, so there's nowhere really to go but up. So it gives us an idea that there was we know there are a few blue catfish in here from some of West Virginia's stockings, and hopefully that some of these fish will survive and start showing up throughout the river. And this is something that we plan on doing pretty much every 3 years for the entire length of the project on the Ohio, and once we start stocking on the Allegheny and Mon rivers as well, we're going to incorporate those rivers on a 3-year basis as well. So we're going to be constantly looking for catfish. The goal is basically to see if our catch rates increase over time. That's one instance that'll show that the stocking is at least working and the fish are taking, as well as if we start picking up small young of the year fish, basically smaller ones that are smaller than what our yearling sizes are going to be in the future. You know, if we start picking up small fish like this, that's going to give us a good indication that they're naturally reproducing.
That'd be great news.
That's our ultimate goal, is to establish a naturally reproducing population in the Ohio River, Allegheny, and Mon River, Pennsylvania.
All right, Mike. Well, hey, we thank you so much. I mean, I personally know all the hard work that this guy does, you know, particularly with the catfish and in our areas. And I know what you have done to, well, not all, but I know you've put in a lot of work to get this going. And on behalf of myself and hopefully everybody that's going to be viewing this video and our entire catfish community, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. And, you know, I can't take all the credit myself. There's a lot of individuals within our agency who have put as much time as I have in this. There's a lot of people out there that are really excited to see these fish back in Pennsylvania. You know, we've had a really good group of guys in the hatchery who are really excited for this project, doing an excellent job of raising these fish up to, you know, the size that we saw. And obviously, you know, guys like yourself, Ken, and some of your other buddies who are out helping us stock and distribute these fish throughout the river so that they have a better chance of surviving. It's much appreciated.
Oh man, the pleasure is all ours. I mean, that was almost like a surreal thing. I never thought that'd be happening, let alone being out there and helping you guys stock them and seeing them kind of swim away. That's something I'll never forget.
It's pretty impressive. We could fit them all in that live well as well.
Yeah. Shout out to G3 Boats and their live wells, because they shuttled around thousands of blue catfish over the last couple of days. But yeah, the first stocking of the Ohio River is complete. Like Mike said, we just wrapped up today. They were going to be doing that second stocking with the surplus of catfish a little bit later on in the fall. And, you know, by the end of the year, we're going to have, I'm sure a lot of them will get eaten, but we'll have 80,000 roughly that'll be stocked into our waterways in just the Ohio River in a 40-mile stretch. So once again, Mike, thank you. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you're as excited as me and Mike are. See ya.
Look at that flathead.
That's a giant.